The truth.
I want the truth.
You can't handle the truth.
Press it again.
Oh,
You are now officially tuned in to the No Filter podcast. We are the truth.
I want the truth.
You can't handle the truth.
Yep. Welcome back to another episode of the No Filter podcast, man. Listen, we had a couple weeks off. Y'all got time to recuperate and get your grills all out and whatnot, man. So we're back to burn. What up, man? It's yours truly, Carl, aka Cash Daughters, aka some guy from Massachusetts, man. And to my left,
my name is Akeem Strickland. I'm the organizer of Family and Friends Living Healthy, a summer Saturday morning walking group that began this past Saturday, June the 6th. We have a very special guest joining us this evening.
now hold on, before we get into that, right?
Yeah.
I don't know about anybody else, but if you are in the Massachusetts or let's just say New England area, period, right? We just gonna generalize it. I'm sure those of y'all have probably seen, the flyers and whatnot, for advertising the walking group and whatnot. Listen, anybody who came to the first walk on Saturday, I think I lost like 90 pounds, yo. And I feel like, it's hard for us big men out here. So we got to represent. So I just want to put that out there. But yes,
Right.
Today we have us a very, very special guest.
And to my left, we have a member of my Saturday morning walking group. She's also a tax attorney and real estate broker, Koenia Martin Page, based in Brooklyn. Koenia,
Thank you.
you have the floor.
Thank you for having me. So great to be here with you. Thank you.
Glad to have you on with us this evening. It's a privilege to have you on. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, thank you. I'm glad to be with you. Just as you mentioned, I'm an attorney, real estate broker, also a tax attorney based in Brookline, Massachusetts. And I help people buy, sell, and invest in real estate. I am also a mother, 3 boys. I'm married. I have served in public office in Brookline, former town meeting member.
Okay.
Also have been a library trustee, served in that capacity for about 7 years. And I'm really proud and pleased to be a member of the walking group.
Glad to have you on board.
Yeah.
I'm glad we connected. Before we jump in, you want to say how you joined the group last August?
Oh, so I love how I came to join the group. In my office, one of my neighbors, Robert Gracie, who I have a lot of neighbors who are in the wellness space. He is a member of the walking group, and he shared and thought I might be interested in joining. And I was so happy and pleased to hear about it, and decided I might check it out. And it actually came at a wonderful time for me. I had been trying to um, continue a mindfulness practice, and walking had been a good one, but I had not been doing it consistently. And I had been grieving. My sister had passed. It had been several years, but I had been grieving her passing, and something kind of moved me to give this a try. And the group was meeting that coming Saturday, and I showed up wasn't quite sure what to expect. And I tell you, and he'd sent me, there's a lot of literature online about your leadership and about the group, Rakeem, and it had been meeting for several seasons. It's been featured on the news and papers. But I showed up, and as much as it been featured, there was a warmth and an intimacy and a hospitality. And sure enough, it's a close-knit group. Everybody was welcoming, and there was music, there was laughter, and there was a familiarity, almost as if I was a family member.
Yes.
That was so nice for me. This is home for me now. I was originally born and raised in the South, and so that warmth of home and hospitality is a welcoming thread, almost like a tune, a familiar tune from my childhood. So I really appreciated that, and that was such a comfort for me. And we were walking through the park, out in nature, and it helped me move through the grief that I was experiencing in such a lovely way. So I really have appreciated that. So it's been a lovely community to be a part of. Thank you.
And we're glad to have you on board.
Yeah.
All about building connections with each other, lasting connections, not just connections. You want them to last. And I understand that you're not from Boston. You grew up in the South. What part?
I'm from Florida.
Okay.
I'm from Florida, and I have a portion inside my family's from Georgia that migrated to Florida. So from Southeast Florida, and there's a portion of my family from the Caribbean, from the Bahamas, and but I consider myself a Southern girl.
Okay. What part of Florida? Miami, Orlando, Fort Lauderdale, Jacksonville?
From a little town you might not recognize, called Vero Beach.
Okay.
But it's south of Orlando, north of Fort Lauderdale. But it was a great supportive community.
Okay.
Southern roots might make you think of Cheers. Everybody knows your name and can look at you
Yeah, like
and say, "How your mama doing?
Yeah.
You some kin to so and so."
Right.
Yeah, real
Right.
small town.
Right. Yeah, I have family from down south too. South Carolina, Hilton Head, shout out.
Yes.
My grandmother.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and I do as well. I'm just here, man. I'm just quiet. But
Where in the South is your family from, Carl?
South Carolina, Georgia as well.
Oh, nice.
It's weird, right? Because my excuse me, my mom's side of the family is from South Carolina, and then my dad's side is from Georgia.
Yeah.
But then they have like certain parts too where they from South Carolina. So today's episode just might have to be the real estate connection. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Because
yeah,
we're talking about some things. So once again, we want to thank you for having you on, man. This is
thank you.
This is exciting because see this guy.
Yeah,
he's taking too long to get to the point, right? People want to know, right? People want to know. They want to know about, what did you say it was? You said buying, selling, and investing as far as property is concerned, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So my first question, because I actually did not know that that's what you're into. I didn't know that.
Oh.
What made you want to get into this business?
So Carl, I first of all, you gotta walk. We gotta walk a little closer, at some future Saturday.
Yeah.
You know, uh, maybe it's always been on me and in me.
Mm.
My name literally means community.
Yes.
Um, so I love to say my mom was speaking that over me. It comes from the Greek word. There's a farm in Georgia that has that. I like to say Koenia Farm, but some people say Koinonia Farm. But that's where Habitat for Humanity gets its name. And
Right.
you know, Habitat for Humanity builds the
Yeah,
houses.
yep.
It started from that farm.
Wow.
And so the meaning, the root of the meaning is community. And so I love to say my mom was saying, "Come here, community." And I'm in a way in my profession living into that every day. And you know, growing up, that was always important to me. Um, and when I first started out in my career, I actually did commercial real estate transactions as the lawyer. And in my personal life, I did real estate investing. And I would find houses in the community, in Black communities, and develop them in ways to both help my personal bottom line, but also better the community. As well in my profession, I worked with a CDC that was not unlike the Lena Park Community Development Corporation. And I really enjoyed that. I really liked that. I also remember as a child what that felt like. My family moving into a home that we owned for the first time. And I never forgot that feeling. I experienced home security and home instability, insecurity. I experienced the whole gamut of that as a child and never forgot that feeling and wanted to be a part of working in that area and helping others experience home ownership and building wealth, because that was one of the ways that we were able to build wealth. Even now, in today's economy, home ownership still continues to be a major way that Black families can build wealth.
Right. Right.
And so all along in my adult life and career, I have either in my job or my personal life had my hand in that. So just for personal reasons, professional reasons, I have enjoyed that. I have enjoyed the way I've been able to empower, uplift,
Right.
and it's fun. It's
Right.
really interesting. There's all sorts of things you can learn. There's all sorts of ways you can be creative in it. And so we've seen the stories. You certainly have seen those design shows on TV, but in a very real way, I've seen very real examples of folks changing the trajectory of their lives through real estate. So that's maybe a meandering way of me sharing why I was drawn
Yes.
to this career path.
I want to say real estate. It's a very important industry. You can impact others' lives in the community, or you can help them find their home, their forever home, that they can for the rest of their lives, their kids, their grandchildren, and so on. Some people don't realize that.
Yeah, and we all need a place to live. We all need housing. Um, And so it's and our housing needs may change over the course of our lives. And so it's a joyful process for me to be able to help someone at different stages of life, and to be there and to support them as those needs may change.
I remember this was about maybe like, oh gosh, I want to say back in like 2012, maybe 13. Um, Boston 25. I'm gonna call them that because that's what they want to be called. So we're just gonna give them the respective name. You know how like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning you'd watch those infomercials, and they would have certain infomercials based on whatever. It would just be whatever. And I remember watching these infomercials on real estate. And I think at the time, people were going around flipping properties.
Flipping houses.
Yeah, I don't remember if it was houses or whatever, but the most I probably remember is like people making was like up to like $250,000. Is that true by any chance?
Huh. Now I don't remember these commercials, but I may not have lived here at the time of these commercials, so I'm not quite certain what you're referring to.
Yeah, I don't remember what commercial it was, but they were
Uh-huh.
advertising real estate.
Huh.
They were advertising. Then you had well, uh, I guess they were success stories of what it meant to jump into real estate, and then they were talking about like how based off of them jumping into real estate, they made X amount of dollars, just from doing it.
Huh. Some in the milk don't feel clean about that.
Yeah.
Um, uh, I don't know about that one, Carl. But real estate investing can be fun, and you could learn a lot. You could grow. I can't speak specifically to that commercial,
Mhm.
but there's nothing fast and shortcut about it.
Right. Like I think that's what they were trying to make it seem like. Oh, if you jump into this, during this time, you'll make this much money, and you can. Something about that just didn't sit right. But of course, like I'm an 18-year-old kid. Like I didn't know, I
Yeah.
didn't, and all these things, and then like just jumping into that, man, like real estate and flipping that wasn't really my thing. But I will say, as I've gotten older, going back to what you said about um finding that forever or building that community for folks to enjoy, man, that's so prevalent. Um, which was going to be a follow to my next question was you had talked about the housing, and
Mhm,
you said everyone needs a place to live,
mhm.
right? Now, um, the housing market sucks.
Right now.
Oh.
There's no other way for me to put that. This is the No Filter podcast, right? So we got to be honest. Why do you think the housing market is the way that it is these days? Like, why do you think, coming from a person who does real estate and invests?
Okay. And I want to answer that, but I want to go back to the other question, the other comment you're making. Is that okay, Carl? Can I go back?
Yeah.
Um, so you were talking about jumping in,
Yep.
and fast, flip. And so I enjoy mentoring, and I also receive mentoring. I believe that's important. And we talked about community. I think community and having mentorship is wise. It's important to have. There's a proverb. There's safety in the presence of counsel. Amen. So
And the whole church said, "Amen."
Amen.
So I think folks can tend to because you can get into real estate without necessarily having advanced degrees.
Yeah.
Folks may think it's a fast flip flop, easy, quick thing, and it's not. So that was not my path to real estate. So I have, and if I were mentoring somebody, I would also say, study, have another problem, study to show thyself approved. You can be working while you're also studying. But to be in this profession, you get continuing education. If you really want to do a good job for folks, you got to learn and study your craft. And so for me, myself, for example, I have an undergraduate degree from Yale University. I have a law degree. I have an LLM in tax. I'm also a part of a real estate team. I have coaching. I go back and get continuing education credits, even though I'm an attorney and I don't have some of the same requirements. I read. I try to stay abreast of what's happening in the market because I want to be informed. So this is not something where I'm wanting to rush and flip, and
Right.
it's a profession where I'm wanting to read and I'm wanting to have sound
Educate.
counsel and
Yeah.
educate myself
Yep.
and have wisdom.
Yeah, take your time so that way you can give
That's right.
you can give professional information
To those who
that
may need it.
That's
Yeah.
right. I'm also coming to the profession with a background in real estate, commercial real estate transactions, and I have a background in land use and zoning due diligence and representing clients before zoning boards and the like and what have you. And a background in negotiation and arbitration and the like. And so if you want to go into this profession, it's a very good and advisable thing to get training. When I was looking most recently, there are lots of pathways to this training. There are different real estate schools where you can go get training. I even saw Roxbury Community College, which is our local,
Right.
our local Black college. It's I think we informally think of it like our local HBCU, which I just love. But I believe they have some training, and I don't want to misquote, so I apologies,
Yeah.
but they might be a resource where you can get some training on this pathway. In the community, people in the profession go to a professional. They might be willing to mentor you, and so again, this is not something to just jump out and
Just jump.
flip,
Yeah.
And fly.
Right.
But it really is something where it's good to study and then practice and learn from what you're practicing. So I just want to speak to that. There's lots of reading, so there's lots of learning and skill. There's lots of skill to it.
Right.
And when you are hiring and using a real estate professional, because you don't have to use a real estate professional, and there are certain people who do things on their own, but when you are using a real estate professional, you're expecting somebody to have skills.
Yep.
Because they're advising you on, because you to speak to your next question, they're advising you on the state of the market.
Right.
And so if you are coming to me as a buyer, you're going to be expecting me to advise you on, what's the state of the market, to provide, for example, a comparative market analysis on what the prices are in the market. You're going to be expecting me to help show you houses and how they stack up against each other. You're going to be expecting me to help negotiate terms. You're going to be expecting me to help advise you on real estate attorneys in the transactions, to present offers to you, to advise you on contingencies and the like. So you want someone to be knowledgeable who's going to be doing that.
That's guiding you through the process.
That's right.
Yeah.
If you are a seller, you're going to be expecting me to be able to do a valuation on your housing, so I can give you good guidance as to what might be a good price as you're deciding what price to put your market up at. You're going to be expecting me to help guide you through negotiations as offers come in. You're going to be expecting me to guide you through all the documentations. There's timelines and deadlines from the time the offer comes in through all the way through the transactions through closing.
Oof.
So
you followed them through the whole process.
Yeah. So you know, I'm thinking of the song. She works hard for the money. You want someone to be working hard for the money. That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
So now to your question about the market, I might leave that to the economists. We have our Federal Reserve Bank here in Boston.
Right.
There are many factors at play for why the market is, but what we know for sure is the prices are high. So when we look at the headlines, we see the median home price for a house in
bedroom?
Look at a
Boston.
house is like
It was $1 million in
yeah.
April.
Crazy.
That's the most recent.
Yeah,
Okay.
in April, May, I think it was at $1 million.
$1
the
million?
median in where I am in Brookline, I think it was 1.5, 1.6 million.
For a house?
The
Okay.
median. And so what I was hearing in the walking group, a big concern is how can I afford to live? How can my children afford to stay in Boston? How can they afford to live?
Come on, talk
Come
about
on,
it.
yeah,
Talk about
yeah,
it.
we said that. We said that.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah. And
We
so
said that. We talked about this with Jawan.
yeah. And so we need advocates, and we need creative ideas. We need knowledge. We need solutions. I was thinking about that, and that's heavy on my mind. One of the folks in our walking group was raising concerns, and so there's some things. If you'd like me to talk about, I can to address some of that. Does that sound good to you?
Yeah.
One of the things folks may be aware of is the tax exemption, the property on your property. So if you own a property, I made a little list here. You get a residential property tax exemption, and that can represent some savings. And so it excludes a portion of your home assessed value. Once you apply, it automatically applies every year. You have to submit your application by April 1st. And to be eligible, you have to live in that property. It has to be your primary residence. And I think in 2026, the max savings was $4,000 $4,353.74. And so that could be some savings for folks. There's some other savings that folks can apply to, and I wrote the website here. The number of folks can call for tax savings is 617-635-4287. They can also go to Boston property tax exemptions. So there's exemptions available for seniors. If you're 70 or older, there are exemptions available for folks with qualifying disabilities. But there's relief, there's help. If you're having some severe hardships, you can get some relief. Also, if you believe that your property was assessed and it was overvalued, and you think I'm want to dispute that, you can dispute it.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Yeah, you can dispute that, and you can dispute that with the Massachusetts Appellate Tax Board. There's another creative idea or solution too. There's something called accessory dwelling units. And I have really enjoyed this, and Tony knows about this, general contractor Tony. These essentially, if you watch those real estate shows, and Carl, it sounds like you do, these are essentially like tiny houses, and they can be attached to your property or they can be detached. And I've been watching these go up around Massachusetts, and they can be such a creative solution for affordable housing.
You know what?
Hmm.
I just seen something about that recently too.
Did you?
I cannot remember where the story takes place, but oh man, if I'm not mistaken, from what I remember, there was somebody, it was in the news, I forget her name. There was a young lady, and I think she had her brother. I think it was her brother, and her brother's disabled, and for him trying to either rent an apartment or trying to get, his own place, it was just impossible. So what ended up happening was, it was these ADUs that was I guess they popped up. I guess that was a thing recently, and I guess it was in the the place of where, for her brother, he was there in her I think it was in her backyard or somewhere close enough to where she can get to him. And this was just recently. I don't remember when, but man, yeah.
That sounds like it. Wait,
Yeah.
and what did you think of that?
I was actually surprised, because speaking for a person with disabilities, rent is too high.
Yeah.
My apartment specifically. Listen, I don't care what nobody say. I'm about to put wind management on blast right now, right? Because they suck. There's no other way to say it, right? There's no way that a 1-bedroom, and I'm talking just for market rent is like 24, 25 at least. Now, give or take, right? But if you person, with disabilities, they go by your income. And so somebody like me, yeah, I pay only 200 and something bucks, right? But at least in my predicament, it wasn't easy when I first moved in there. It's a nice little spot, don't get me wrong. But as far as the creativity, it could always be better. It could always be better.
I hear you, Carl. And so imagine this solution, because that could present such a hardship. And then here you have this ADU that allows for independent living.
Yes.
That's on the property.
The property, yep.
That's right. And for many people, just as you described, it could be an individual with disabilities, but that can still live independently.
Yeah.
That needs to be within reach of a loved one. It could be an in-law suite. It could, for parents. So for many people, it's a great solution. And there are currently loan programs for ADUs, and so the loan programs are being offered $250,000 for detached ones, $150,000 for attached ones. There's some caveats. You have to have your plans, your permits, and your pre-development materials ready and to move forward. But that, for many people, that's a creative strategy for affordable housing solution. So there's a web page I have here, masshousing.com. They have an ADU LP web page up as a resource for folks who want to look into that. So yeah, as you say, Carl, for many people, that's a great option. Another option is for some people is co-buying. And so for folks who want to own and who, for whatever reason, who the financing may feel out of reach, co-buying is another creative strategy.
I guess it's exactly what it sounds like.
Yeah,
Right.
you buy
Yeah,
together
yeah.
with your friends, or you might buy together with family.
I don't want to buy nothing with him involved in it.
Well, think about folks that you see that might be living multi-generationally.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
we've gotten away from this, but I think it used to be commonplace where you'd see folks living many generations
In the same house?
one house.
I was just talking about that the other
Right.
day. That's
Yeah.
wow.
You would
That is
see
crazy.
them living many generations. Well, you can co-buy with many generations, and you can own it together. And that could be a way to make buying
Less.
accessible.
Yep, for
Yeah.
everybody. Yep.
Yeah. You can also co-buy with a group of friends. So whereas alone, you might have trouble coming up with
The
maybe
money.
the down payment. But you could co-buy together and come up with it. My kids had the fortune to go and listen to something with a hip hop artist, Killer Mike. And apparently he was talking about a strategy. I'm not certain. I don't want to misquote, but it was something along the lines of co-buy and
Yep.
co-ownership
Yep.
with your brothers or cousins. And
Yep.
he was essentially, this seems to be what he was promoting. And so now, to accomplish this, it could be helpful to work with a professional, that's someone who can help you go look and search for a property or for properties that would be good candidates for this type of ownership, that might have the layout, the kinds of rooms and bathrooms and things of that nature that would be ideal for this type of ownership, that have the space. Then you need the attorneys, the real estate attorneys, to help you draft the sorts of agreements that you need for this. So, when everybody's kumbaya and holding hands is lovely, but when disputes arise,
Then
it's
temperature's rising.
yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you do when people are mad? How do you share tasks? How do you break up? How do you get up? What do you want to do when you're ready to sell or move on?
Right.
But that's you handle that up front. But that can be a really creative way to own. Another creative solution could be, say you have someone who owns a property that's a seller You could do seller financing, where the seller holds the loan and someone moves in and has a room in the house, and they are purchasing equity bit by bit. And so you can also have someone just renting the rooms.
Yep.
That's a way to help you stay in a place,
Right.
but you can also be purchasing equity. I'm thinking of this, you could be the same age, but I'm also thinking of this as you have aging homeowners.
Yes.
Yep.
They can give access to younger,
Right. Those that are seniors.
homeowners. That allows somebody to age in place, that allows community. That's another creative way to help folks with home ownership and these rising prices, and to address these questions of how can my children stay in Boston. So this is another way. And just to quickly, so we don't just kind of gloss over, just kind of the snore start rising. We have other things called HELOCs, which are home equity lines of credit.
Okay.
Phew.
You can get to help you with the down payment. We have things called a reverse mortgage. This is not for everybody, but it's something where you can basically get a line of credit from your equity, and it doesn't come due until it's time to sell, or until the borrower passes. But then you don't have the house to pass on to your children, but you can consult a lender about that. And then there are programs that housing organizations have in Greater Boston. So like Mass Housing has one right now going on where they are offering first-time home buyers, for example, down payment assistance. One that I just was looking up, $25,000 interest-free down payment loans happening right now. And there are requirements and things for that, but there are other programs like that. So I know, as Carl's saying, it looks bleak. His words were, it sucks. But I hope these things that I just enumerated help to counter. There's also some hopefulness.
Yes.
There are some strategies, and so I really encourage you to talk to someone, and to not give up.
So I understand. How long have you been in Boston?
I've been here 13 years.
Oh, so you
This
just
year.
got here.
Okay, Carl.
Hey,
That's a way to put it.
hey, you know what? Yo, real quick, man, if you're just tuning in, y'all tuning into the No Filter podcast, we have Koenia, sorry.
Koenia.
Koenia.
I'm going to get it right one day, I promise.
You saying it with ease.
I know, right? We have Miss Koenia inside the building, man. I got it right. See, first time. And we talking about taxes. We talking about
Real estate.
Real estate. How real is your state? Hey, we're talking about a mix of other things too. I do have a question unrelated to what you were talking about.
Okay.
Or more or less to what you were talking about. Sorry. Do you have other friends in other states who have or who deal with some of the same things that you do? Like, do you have other friends in other states that are attorneys? Do you have friends in other states that are real estate agents or stuff like that? How, and if so, so how does that work? Do you guys have a roundtable meeting? Do you guys discuss
the market?
Yeah, the market. Do you discuss in the words as the young cats say these days, what we talking about?
So in short, yes, I do. So I have colleagues. So in my company, I'm a part of EXP Realty. I have a great network.
Is that Experian?
No. So, a great network. So if there's someone who comes to me and says, "Hey, I'm moving and I'm going to California," I have a great network, and I can reach out to someone there and say, "Hey, can you help my friend in California?" And I have someone I can call upon. And I even have global reach with that. So that's really cool.
Wow.
International?
You're like a triple threat. Like, like, I don't know, man. Governor Maura Healey, she should be here right now. I'm just saying, because you come in here equipped. And most people, they got to go, yo, let me go on Chrome real quick. Let me go look it up real quick. You're not doing that. You have all this stuff and you know people. And
oh, thank you. And I do want to say I also have friends. I just went to my 25th class reunion.
For college?
My 25th college reunion. I probably should not have recorded that, but I did.
What class are you?
I'm doing my wall slide down.
Class of 88?
2001?
2001.
You know what,
Yes.
though? That does seem so long ago, don't it?
Carl, why you do me like that, Carl? Why you do me like that, Carl? Come on now.
Look.
I
And,
thought I was your treasured guest, Carl.
and 4 years, though, we're going to be sitting here talking about, dang, it was just 2001, not that long ago.
But I'm proud. I'm proud of my class, and it was so good to see all
you get to
my
reconnect.
classmates. Yeah, and
man.
they are doing great all over this land.
We need this, though.
They were real estate professionals, investors on Wall Street. They were judges.
Yeah.
They were they were teaching the next generation of students.
They're in different industries.
They're doing some of everything, and change makers,
They're making it.
and philanthropy. They were writers. They were authors.
Making impacts across.
I felt so blessed and so humbled. They were in medicine. They were in ministry.
Okay.
They were in acting and comedy.
So
they were just in a diverse array of fields.
They're impacting others.
In politics and public service.
We don't say politics around here. We say politics.
They were raising young
Children.
people. They were
Yep.
artists. So I felt very proud of them, and they were a true testament to great liberal arts education.
Yeah.
So I felt proud of them. Yeah.
Okay. I want to. What drew you to the Boston area? Because I understood you were weighing a couple places across the region.
Really?
New Haven, New York. Why Boston?
I think you're referring. So I came to the Northeast for college from the South, and by November I was hooked. I fell in love. So at first I couldn't walk and talk at the same time because, they walk so fast and they talk so fast up here.
Yeah.
I was so tired, but by November I was hooked, and so when I left the region for caregiving, my mother had a debilitating stroke my senior year of college, and I went back down south
to go take care of mom.
Yeah. But when I had the opportunity to return, I said New Haven's too slow, New York's too fast, Boston was just right.
In the middle. We're in the middle.
Yeah.
Dope, man. Dope.
Yeah.
So going back to what you just said a second ago about your example of giving up help for your friends and whatnot. You said people. Did you say in California?
I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing.
No. It ain't about that.
Oh, okay.
What I was gonna say was I hear this now. Don't quote me on this, okay?
Mm-hmm.
They say it's expensive to either buy a house there in California, and it's also expensive to rent. Have you heard anyone that you know of talk about, or at least bring that up when you're talking about when you're in your discussions about the things that are happening as far as the markets are concerned?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
a topic of conversation. That's in so many places. It was a topic of conversation. How expensive housing is right now. So some of these very similar strategies
Scenarios. Yep.
that we're talking about here, folks are talking about in California. In fact, I was just traveling, and somebody was sharing they were living in California, and they had median home prices, very comparable to what we are experiencing here.
Okay.
And so this is not a unique circumstance to Boston that we are facing. I think we have a lot going for us here but I'm not here to kind of be the ambassador, but we live in a great in a great state. So some of the things I love, I know we get a bad rap because we have snow and it's cold, but I think having the 4 seasons, it really enriches us. I love that about Massachusetts. I love that we have the fall foliage,
Right.
and that we have the 4 seasons. I love the topography. I love that you have the mountains accessible as well as the beach accessible
Down at
here
the
in
Cape.
Massachusetts. Yeah. I think that's a
Cape
great
Cod.
thing that we have here in the state. I was just sharing this with somebody in our walking group. In our great state, you can take a day trip and go see a Broadway play and be back home.
Right.
So I just went and saw Joe Turner's Come and Gone on Broadway.
Okay.
Got my whole life celebrating August Wilson.
Okay.
Just the other day.
Okay.
And so we have such a gift here. I can go on and on, but
Absolutely.
but we have so many wonderful gyms here. So
Right. I'm about to ask you this. What kind of music do you listen to?
You know what? Turn his mic off, yo. Turn his mic off.
Oh my goodness. So I love music.
You like all genres?
I love all sorts of genres, from gospel to hip hop to jazz to, on the way here, I was listening to Duran Bernard.
Okay.
Wow.
I was listening to Lil Jill Scott.
Okay.
I was listening to Jeffrey Osborne just the other day, and Freddie Jackson. I love,
Okay.
I love Prince. I love classical. I love the cello. I have eclectic taste. I love all kinds of music.
You know what? You hear that, Carl?
Turn his mic off. Anyways, you see it matches you well. And what I'm saying in that regard is like going back to your because when you first started talking, your track record was I was like, man, she got a rap sheet.
And I wanted, and then you was at Brookline Town Hall, so you was
Well, Well, tell me about your music first before we move on. What kind of music do you guys? I was listening to a little. So I'm a fan of the pod. And so
Thank you.
you were sharing some music on a previous podcast, but I think you moved on to a topic before I got to hear the whole of the music genres that you like.
Probably for all the good reasons, yo.
Carl, he asking you.
Oh man, I'm like you. I like a little bit of everything. My favorite though would have to be. We got a couple minutes left, by the way, but my favorite would have to be between, like, I love disco.
Oh.
Because that's where, like, maybe it's just me being a music lover, but I love the breaks. Like, I love the beats and all of that. But then I do love, like, that feel good R&B. So like you said, like Jill Scott,
Yeah.
Jeffrey Osborne,
You said
things
Prince.
like that. Prince, yep.
Yeah.
And Donna Summers
Donna
from
Summers,
here.
yep.
Yeah.
Darling Nikki. I was just playing Darling Nikki the other day. I
Oh.
met with her the other day. But that's just me. Kenny Rogers.
Yeah.
Country.
Just
Yep.
all of it, man. That's just me.
That's
Yeah.
great.
And then turn this guy's mic off, man.
What do you like, Rakeem?
I like everything. Like I say, Carl and I, we have a very
Yo, this
we,
only
No,
on this show you will see
yeah,
why they partnered us
I
up for a
crack it up
reason.
now. We have a very, let me get myself together. We have a very diverse library. We have all decades of music, 50s to now. I have no particular favorite decade or genre. I know a few weeks ago, I know Carl and I, we sometimes play together and we go everywhere. That's all I have to say.
You like Earth, Wind, and Fire?
Oh man, that's classic.
Frankie Beverly May.
So basically, what you're saying is you want a whole you want a mixtape series. That's what you saying. We'll talk about that off air.
You want some 70s.
Yeah. We'll talk about that off air. Listen,
That's great.
we have to do a part 2 of this because there's so much more as far as like the taxes that I want to ask. I might need to get some advice on how to get a house not in Boston because I want something out in the suburbs somewhere. Maybe in my mind. But yo man, if you're just tuning in, we had Koenia
Koenia.
Yeah, I said it right. Koenia. We had Miss Koenia tonight. She was with us. We talked about the real estate, the financial aspect of it, taxes. She basically broke down her track record and then some. And yes, she's giving y'all information. So on that note, we are going to, again, turn his mic off first. And then we're going to exit stage left. My name is the one and only Castros, a.k.a. Carl. To my left,
Rakeem Strickland, the organizer of Family and Friends Living Healthy Summer Saturday Morning Walking Group. Like I always say, aim to strive, have a positive impact on others. And to my left,
I'm Koenia Martin Page. So grateful for the bridge that you are in our community, Rakeem. Thank you so much for the fellowship too with you today, Carl. I have so much gratitude for being here with you today.
you're more than welcomed. And like I always say, please be kind to one another, love one another, respect one another. Put somebody else on your taxes other than me. And you know what my last thing is? Don't get on my last nerves. On that note, we out of here. Holla at you later. Peace.
You are now officially tuned in to the No Filter Podcast. We are the truth.